Hey guys, today we are going to be teaching you how to web scrape the internet using the Python programming language. So here I have my Anaconda, and the first thing we need to do is we need to import beautiful soup. So we want our from BS4 import beautiful soup, and I cannot. Oh, it's with a capital shoot. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so that is the thing. And now we need to import requests. Requests helps us get the content from the page, and Beautiful Soup is what parses it for us. So next we want to define the URL. So one of the websites that I scrape a lot and I think is really useful is Yahoo Finance. We're going to be scraping the ticker page for Apple, and we're going to be getting the price data from it. And yeah, so the URL, here it is. Make it a string. And the next thing we want to do is we want to actually get the page content. So we want to use the request. So we want page equals requests.get and then URL, which is just that URL that we're looking at in the background. So now we're going to want to start parsing it. So soup, this is just a common way to define beautiful soup. So soup equals I messed up here, but requests dot or page dot content, and the thing that we're going to use to parse it is the beautiful soup HTML parser. Page dot content is just all the code, all the JavaScript and HTML, mainly the HTML in this case, on the page. Okay, and the HTML parser is what allows us to look at it. So we're just going to print the soup just to make sure it's working. And it's just taking a second. It takes a little while to do this. And there it is. As you can see, we have all our crazy data. It looks ridiculous right now. It doesn't look like you can make much use of it, but we can fix that. Oh, soup.prettify, this makes it look nicer. And, oh, I don't know how to spell. Oops, okay. That doesn't matter. We don't need to use that for now. So the next thing we're going to want to do to web scrape this Yahoo Finance site is we're going to want to search to figure out what we need to look for in the code. So here we're going to want to go to the page itself, and we got all this data that it has, but we want to get the price. So we want to highlight it and then click inspect. And when we click inspect, it shows us the HTML code behind this page. And here we go. And as you can see, the highlighted element is the highlighted in blue element is the code that I'm hovering over. So that helps define that element. So this is the code, since it highlights the price. That's the code we want to look at. So the tag is a span tag, and so we want to, so soup.find, price equals soup.find, which is the beautiful soup way of finding things, and then we want to put our tag, so span, and then the other thing we need to look for is the class or an ID, but in this case it's just going to be a class. So here's the class. It's that nice sequence, so I'm just going to copy and paste, and so class underscore equals the underscores because class is already a Python keyword, so there we got it. And now it is time to just see what we get. And oh, I forgot to define this as the soup as a beautiful soup object. I just made it a tuple on accident. That's a silly mistake of me. So let me just define it as a beautiful soup object. You just have to write beautiful soup and then the tuple, beautiful soup in cap with like you imported it earlier. So just like this. Sorry for my slow typing speed, guys. I just didn't learn how to do it right. Oh, we don't want to delete all this. Okay, so now you can see it gives us the exact same thing, the exact same piece of code as we got here. So that's pretty cool. But how is that useful? And if we want to just get the price data, which is 132.99, we don't really want all that code. So luckily Beautiful Soup has a better way to solve this. So price is the same as price dot text. That just removes all the HTML and turns it into spaces. Dot strip, and that the strip gets rid of all the extra white spaces. And now price again, which should be just a regular number, 132.99, and that is the exact same as the Apple price right here. So now let's convert this to a function because that makes it a lot easier to use. So let's just indent it, and let's, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to run it there. So let's define this function as, get price. Oh, oops, my bad. Get price. And we're going to take in a URL. Okay, so there's our function. There's the definition. And instead of printing price, let's just return it so it's easier to work with. Okay, so return price. And now we just converted this to a function to make it a lot easier to work with. And you can use this in your code. So now let's just make sure it's all working. And we're just going to print get price of our URL just to make sure it returns the same thing. Okay, and it does. Now, let's just make our program a little bit more useful. So here we are going to make the URL variable so we can choose what ticker symbol we want to get the price of. And this makes it more useful since we don't have to go searching through like the Yahoo Finance, which is sort of laggy, to get like the price of like different stocks. So instead of just being able to get the Apple price, we can get the Apple price, the Tesla price, the Microsoft price, all that good stuff. Okay, and I'm just gonna change those apples to a ticker variable, and I'll define that just above it right here. And we'll just take the input from the user. Let me just indent that to make our code more readable. The ticker is the same as input, and then what price do you want to get, or what stock do you want to get, or what ticker do you want to get. And let's just make that. So let's just test this to make sure everything's working fine. And as you can see, let's just write Apple, AAPL, and boom, that's perfect. Let me just add a space just to make it easier to read. Now let's test it on another ticker because we already know it's Apple, so let's try Tesla, TSLA, and let's see if that's the same. Let's test on Yahoo Finance, close the inspect window, and it is the same. Tesla, it gave us the exact right price of Tesla, $677.02. And yeah, that is about it for today's video. We will have a part 2 coming up showing you how to web scrape harder sites that use more JavaScript using Selenium. So stay tuned for that. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share this to your friends.